Freddie Roach. Wearing red, official weight 145, 3/4 pounds. His professional record:
7 victories, 38 wins by knockout. He's the fighting pride of the Philippines. A rubber 8 division world champion, reigning and defending 2-time WBO. From Sarangani Province, Philippines, tonight he's the challenger, the legendary, the challenger, the fighting pride of the Philippines, 8-time world champion.
Round of boxing for the WBO welterweight championship of the world.
Manny Pacquiao.
Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Atlanta, Georgia, it's showtime! Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner tonight, seeking his 3rd division world title. Wearing white trunks with yellow and silver trim, the young star of boxing from Baltimore and representing his adopted home of Atlanta, Georgia. He weighed in at 139 3/4 pounds with a sensational record of 24 wins, no losses. He has 23 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here's the popular and acclaimed 3-time 2-division world champion, the hard-hitting, current and undefeated WBA super featherweight and WBA lightweight champion of the world, introducing Gervonta.
What happens when time itself steps into the ring against pure destruction? Manny Pacquiao, a legend who conquered multiple generations, stands opposite Gervonta "Tank" Davis, a fighter built for sudden endings and brutal finishes. This isn't just a fantasy matchup, it's a question that challenges boxing logic itself. Can experience, timing, and ring intelligence overcome explosive youth and one-punch power? One man represents history. The other represents danger. And in 2026, the margin for error would be razor-thin, because a single mistake against Tank Davis could erase an entire legacy in seconds. Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Davis would be one of the most fascinating stylistic clashes boxing has ever imagined. Pacquiao's footwork, angles, and relentless combinations defined an era. Tank Davis, meanwhile, has mastered patience, precision, and devastating counterpunching. This fight wouldn't be about who throws more punches, it would be about control, distance, and timing. Pacquiao would look to overwhelm Tank with speed and volume, while Davis would wait calmly, hunting for one perfect moment. It's legacy versus lethality, wisdom versus explosion, and boxing fans worldwide would be holding their breath every single round. Pacquiao is more than a legend, he's an anomaly in boxing history. His success came from a rare blend of explosive hand speed, unpredictable footwork, and relentless aggression. As a southpaw, he attacked from angles most fighters never see, darting in and out with lightning-fast combinations before opponents could react. His punch volume was overwhelming, often forcing even elite champions into survival mode. Fighters struggled to time him because his movement was constant and unconventional. Pacquiao's greatest weapon wasn't just speed, it was his ability to maintain that speed over multiple rounds while applying non-stop pressure. However, Pacquiao's aggressive style also carried risks. He often attacked in bursts, leaving brief openings during exchanges. His defense relied more on movement than a tight guard, meaning precise counterpunches could catch him coming in. Throughout his career, Pacquiao showed moments of vulnerability when opponents timed his forward momentum, openings that become extremely dangerous against a puncher like Tank Davis, especially if Pacquiao is no longer in his absolute prime. Gervonta "Tank" Davis is one of the most dangerous fighters in boxing today because of his ability to end fights suddenly. He possesses explosive knockout power, elite counterpunching instincts, and a calm patience that separates him from reckless brawlers. Unlike many power punchers, Tank doesn't chase knockouts. He studies opponents round by round, downloading their timing, habits, and defensive mistakes. Once he finds the opening, the fight often ends instantly, sometimes when it looks like he's losing on the scorecards. Tank's greatest strengths are his precision and timing. His left hand is devastating, especially as a counter or uppercut. His body shots are brutal and often overlooked, breaking opponents down before the knockout comes upstairs. Still, Tank isn't without flaws. He sometimes gives away early rounds while analyzing opponents, which could be risky against a high-volume fighter like Pacquiao. He also hasn't faced many elite, fast southpaws with relentless pressure, making this matchup even more intriguing. At its core, Pacquiao vs Tank Davis is the classic speed versus power battle. Pacquiao looks to win minutes, outworking his opponent with movement, angles, and volume. Tank looks to win seconds, patiently waiting for one mistake that changes everything. Pacquiao overwhelms fighters over time. Tank ends fights in moments, and that contrast defines the entire matchup. In the early rounds, Pacquiao would likely start fast, using his footwork and hand speed to keep Tank on the defensive. He'd attack in flurries, darting in and out, forcing Tank to reset repeatedly and making every second inside the ring dangerous. Tank, meanwhile, would remain calm, maintaining a high guard while quietly gathering information. The early rounds would likely favor Pacquiao on the scorecards, as his activity, angles, and constant movement make it difficult for Tank to land clean shots. Pacquiao's speed and volume would force Tank into a mostly defensive posture, limiting his opportunities early. As the fight moves into the middle rounds, the danger rises significantly. Tank begins to make subtle adjustments, timing Pacquiao's entries and exits with greater precision. Body shots start to play a crucial role, slowing Pacquiao's movement just enough to create openings. While Pacquiao may still land more punches overall, Tank's shots become heavier, cleaner, and far more damaging. Momentum begins to shift, and every Pacquiao attack carries increasing risk. In the championship rounds, everything comes down to conditioning, discipline, and timing. If Pacquiao remains sharp, disciplined, and mobile, he can continue to outwork Tank and potentially secure a decision victory. However, if Tank lands one clean counter, especially a left hand as Pacquiao steps in or exits, the fight could end instantly. This matchup is unlikely to turn into a prolonged war. It either remains tactical or ends suddenly. For Pacquiao to win, constant lateral movement is essential. He must avoid exiting in straight lines, keep his punch volume high, and never admire his work after landing combinations. Any pause, even for a split second, could be disastrous. For Tank to win, patience is the key. He must invest in the body, time Pacquiao's flurries, and fully capitalize when the opening appears. One mistake from Pacquiao could be all Tank needs. So who wins this fight? If this is prime Manny Pacquiao, his speed, volume, and relentless pressure likely overwhelm Tank Davis, leading to a decision victory or even a late stoppage. But if this is a modern or slightly past prime Pacquiao, Tank Davis's power and timing likely produce a mid to late knockout. Either way, this is a high-risk, high-reward matchup with a dramatic outcome. Beyond styles and physical attributes, this fight is also a mental chess match. Manny Pacquiao has always fought with emotion, momentum, and crowd energy. He thrives when the pace is high and chaos favors his rhythm. The faster the fight moves, the more dangerous he becomes. Tank Davis, by contrast, is at his best when everything slows down. He is comfortable losing rounds if it allows him to set traps. That difference in mentality shapes how each round unfolds and is a major reason this matchup is so fascinating. Pacquiao's footwork would be a major factor early. Unlike traditional boxers who move in straight lines, Pacquiao attacks at sharp angles, often stepping outside his opponents. Lead foot before unleashing combinations. Against Tank, this could disrupt defensive positioning and limit clean counter opportunities. Pacquiao would likely target Tank's guard with fast flurries, forcing him to block high while sneaking punches to the body and chest. Even if those shots don't cause immediate damage, they create cumulative wear and prevent Tank from fully setting his feet. Tank's composure under pressure would be tested in the opening rounds. Pacquiao does not allow opponents time to breathe, he forces constant decisions and non-stop defensive awareness. However, Tank has proven throughout his career that he is comfortable absorbing early pressure if it means gaining valuable information. Every Pacquiao attack gives Tank data: how Pacquiao exits exchanges, how long he stays in range, and which direction he favors after throwing combinations. Those patterns become critical as the fight progresses. The importance of body work cannot be overstated. Gervonta Davis is one of the most effective body punchers in modern boxing, particularly against aggressive fighters. A single clean shot to the ribs or solar plexus can slow even the fastest opponent. If Tank can consistently attack Pacquiao's body in the middle rounds, Pacquiao's explosiveness begins to fade just enough to create real danger. That slight loss of speed could be the difference between slipping a punch and getting caught clean. Pacquiao's durability and heart would become major factors as the fight wears on. Throughout his career, Pacquiao has shown a remarkable ability to fight through adversity. He rarely panics when hurt and often responds to danger with increased aggression. Against Tank, that instinct could either save him or cost him everything. Charging forward after absorbing a power shot might help him steal a round, or it could walk him directly into a fight-ending counter. Ring positioning would be another critical element. Gervonta Davis excels at subtly cutting off the ring, guiding opponents toward the ropes without appearing to chase them. If Tank can limit Pacquiao's lateral movement and force exchanges near the corners, his power becomes far more effective. Pacquiao is at his best in open space, where he can explode in and out at sharp angles. The smaller the ring feels, the more the fight shifts in Tank's favor. Stamina also plays a major role in this matchup. Pacquiao is known for his exceptional conditioning, especially in his prime, when he could maintain a relentless pace deep into fights. Tank's stamina has improved over time, but his style relies more on explosive bursts than constant output. If Pacquiao can force Tank to defend for long stretches, fatigue could become a factor. However, Tank only needs one moment of clarity to change the entire fight, period. Judging adds another layer of intrigue. Pacquiao's activity, movement, and punch volume tend to score well with judges, particularly in the early rounds. Tank's cleaner, heavier shots may come in lower volume, but they leave a visible and lasting impression. This creates a dangerous scenario where Pacquiao could be ahead on the scorecards while Tank remains a constant knockout threat, increasing tension with every passing round. As the fight enters the later rounds, the atmosphere would shift dramatically. Every Pacquiao attack would feel riskier. Every Tank counter more menacing. The crowd energy would rise with each exchange, knowing the fight could end at any moment. This is where experience matters. Pacquiao has lived in these moments countless times. Tank is still building his legacy in them. Ultimately, there is no boring outcome in this matchup. If Pacquiao wins, it would be through relentless pressure, superior footwork, and overwhelming volume that forces Tank into a defensive shell. If Tank wins, it would be through patience, precision, and devastating power that punishes even the smallest mistake. There is no scenario where both fighters simply coast, and that's what makes Pacquiao versus Gervonta Davis such a compelling debate. This isn't about disrespecting eras or styles. It's about understanding how boxing evolves while its fundamentals remain eternal. Speed fades. Power lasts. But timing beats everything. And in this fight, timing decides. If this fight ever happens, the outcome would echo far beyond the final bell. A Pacquiao victory would cement one of the greatest chapters in boxing history, proving that skill, intelligence, and heart can survive any era. A Tank Davis victory, however, would signal the arrival of a ruthless new reality, where power ends legends without mercy. Either way, this matchup would reshape how fans define greatness across generations. So who do you believe wins this clash of eras? Drop your prediction in the comments. Hit like for legendary matchups, and subscribe for deep boxing analysis and future fight breakdowns. Boxing Glove Fire.